Welcome to the SBCC Promise presentation on Spring 2021's orientation. My name is Sergio Armando Lagunas. I am the Santa Barbara City College Promise Manager. Myself and Wendy Aguilera work for the Santa Barbara City College Foundation, and we manage this project as a way that benefits students who are graduating locally from the Santa Barbara City College District area, which encompasses from Goleta down to Carpinteria along the coast, south part of Santa Barbara County. So if you are entering this presentation, this is what we're going to talk about today. We are going to go over the benefits of the SBCC Promise. We'll be talking about everything that needs to be accomplished while you are participating in the SBCC Promise and how to stay eligible for continuous improvement. We are the one of many over 300 initiatives across the country designated as a project or a community initiative to help local students go to community college or any college free of charge or covered by a program or project such as ours. So at Santa Barbara City College, you'll see that we cover mostly everything that is required. So we like to say college is covered. What we mean by that is you are covered in registration fees, mandatory fees, and your required books and course materials. When you are enrolling at SBCC, you'll notice that we are covering your registration and mandatory fees. If you're receiving the California College Promise Grant, which is an enrollment fee waiver at any of the 116 community colleges in California, you'll see that we only cover your mandatory fees, which is what is left over of your required fees. Required books are covered at the Santa Barbara City College bookstore. So at the campus store, we have designated this the only location where you can get your requirements. For example, if you are taking a biology class and there's a book that's over $200, we got you. We cover that expense. They built the Santa Barbara City College Foundation for this as part as your participation in the Santa Barbara City College Promise. Same goes with course materials. Not all students are engaged in academic programs like English or other STEM majors. Perhaps you are an auto mechanic major, or perhaps you are in photography, or even the very famous cosmetology program at SBCC. And they have a $700 cosmetology kit that is required. And since it is a required course material, and as long as you're staying eligible in the SBCC Promise, we will cover that for you as well. So we are billed for that from the cashier's office at SBCC. Now, you may remember signing up, or perhaps you don't remember signing up for the SBCC Promise. For those of you starting in spring 2021, or if you're a continuing student and you would like to know more information about the Promise, remember that you are eligible to sign up for the SBCC Promise simply by graduating from a local high school, completing your GED or the equivalent of a secondary education within the SBCC Community College District. What that means is anyone from Goleta down to Carpinteria along the coast. Not only that, but we also ask students to enroll at SBCC and also apply for admission at SBCC your first or second semester immediately after graduating from high school or the equivalent. That also means that if you graduate in a spring, your first semester would be a fall. If you graduated in fall semester, then your first semester would be spring if you're a mid-year graduate locally. When you sign up for the SBCC Promise, you make a commitment yourself. So we are committed to covering your costs, and you are committed to meet our 4 requirements. So these requirements are listed on the sign up page, and these are the words that are listed that you should remember, as that you will participate in the SBCC Promise, and you have read and understand the eligibility terms, that you understand that if you don't meet these terms or these requirements, that you will be removed from the SBCC Promise contract and will have a balance due, whether it is for your enrollment, fees, books, or supplies. We also have added a FERPA regulation and policy statement stating that by opting in, you're also agreeing to let us see your student records, and we only use them to monitor your eligibility. Speaking of requirements, these are the 4 core requirements that we will go over shortly. You need to apply for financial aid every single academic year that you'll be participating in higher education. Specifically for the SBCC Promise, we ask that you do this as a way for you to have the opportunity to see what you're eligible for, and as well as testing your qualification for the CCPG. We ask that you commit to a full-time schedule, which is equivalent to 12 units or more. Meet with an academic counselor every fall and spring semester, and also remain in good academic standing at SBCC. Now let's break down the first requirement. Applying for financial aid really gives you the opportunity to seek other financial help, such as a Cal grant, a Chafee grant, Pell grant, SELG grant, or even federal loans, which I don't recommend to take down the loans. For the California Community College System, they have that program, the CCPG, also known as the California College Promise Grant, where you can attend any of the 116 community colleges, but thankfully you chose Santa Barbara City College because of the SBCC Promise. So you can have financial aid, and you can also have the SBCC Promise, which is not managed by the financial aid office. Again, we cover your fees, books, and supplies. The financial aid office could help you understand your award letter simply by applying for financial aid. They will offer you an award letter that may include some of these state, federal, or statewide grants like the CCPG. The second requirement is enrollment, a really vital component of this initiative, where we ask you to commit to a full-time student schedule. Again, it is a minimum of 12 units every fall and spring semester of every academic year. We do have an exception, as we have agreed with the Disability Services and Programs for Students Department, also known as DSPS, where you can get an approved reduced unit load provided by them, and they communicate with us with the students who are taking advantage of this. Currently, there are about over 80 students taking advantage of this reduced unit load accommodation, where you can take any amount of units and not have to be reviewed for having a full-time schedule of 12 units or more. So you can literally enroll in 6 units with the reduced unit load approved by DSPS, and you will stay eligible with the enrollment requirement in the SBCC Promise. Now, this is a quick outlook of what it looks like to participate in the SBCC Promise for 2 years. Again, it's a 2-year project, so we'll fund you up to that timeline. For example, if you start in the fall 2020 semester, you have spring, and then summer sessions are optional. I highly recommend it, and many counselors recommend it as well. And you can strategize with an academic counselor to see how that would benefit you to enroll during the summer sessions. Again, after your summer session, you come back and you do a second year, which starts in the fall, then spring, and then you get an additional bonus optional summer session 1 and 2. If you're a mid-year graduate or start in the spring semester, then you may see your calendar look more like this. So your first year would be from spring, then summer, which is optional, and then fall. That is your first year. Your second year looks like this: spring, summer, and then your last term on the SBCC Promise would fall on the fall semester. The third requirement is to complete an academic counseling appointment. It is a minimum of one. So this is where you have an opportunity to go over your major, your strategy for the next semester. And since we are not able to meet with over 1,000 students each semester, we ask you to meet with an academic counselor so that there is a checking system so that you are helped during each semester. The timeline for fall semester is June 1st through December 11th. So any time between that time period will count towards your academic counseling requirement for that semester. Same goes with spring. The time frame for that is from January 1st through May 14th. So the deadline will, from now on, will fall on the Friday after the last day of school. So May 14th is the last day of school in spring 2021. And of course, our fourth and equally important requirement for the SBCC Promise eligibility is that you maintain a good academic standing at Santa Barbara City College. There is no set GPA requirement or grade point average requirement for the SBCC Promise. If you are worried about your high school GPA, that is not a requirement. All we ask that you meet the same qualifications that the college asks for as a continuing student. So if this is your first semester, you'll see that once you're completed your first semester, you get a GPA, which is brand new, unless you were involved in dual enrollment, which that GPA is added to. And what SBCC asks for every student, which is actually in alignment with national practices, is that you maintain a GPA of 2.0 and above. If you do not meet that GPA requirement, you get a message from the dean telling you about resources and that you may be placed on academic probation. You do not want to be in that situation, but if you are, there is help to get you up into the standard of 2.0. Or for students who are then not meeting the GPA requirement their second semester, you may be placed on academic disqualification. And in that case, we get notified and then we work something out and get you the help you need. So again, just as a recap, the 4 requirements to stay eligible for the SBCC Promise, which is something that you said you promised to do, is to apply for financial aid every semester, to commit to a full-time schedule every term, meet with an academic counselor at least once every fall and spring semester, and remain in good academic standing. We review your eligibility 3 times a year. So at the beginning of the year, we review if you are meeting our full-time schedule requirement. In the middle of the semester, we review if you are meeting the full-time requirement and the financial aid requirement. In the summer, excuse me, in the spring, it's about the timeline. It's about March. In the fall, it's about October when we review that. At the end of the term, so the last day to meet with an academic counselor, in this case, spring 2021 will fall on May 14th. That same day, we review who has met with an academic counselor, and we'll see if you can continue as an SBCC Promise student in the following term, which in this case would be summer, and then also includes fall eligibility. Now, we want you to stay connected with us. Any issue, problem, troubleshooting, anything that you need help with in relation to the SBCC Promise, you may contact our main email address, promise@sbccfoundation.org. You can call our main line, 805-730-4416, and leave a voicemail message. Or you may visit our website for more ways to contact us. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then back on 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. You can follow us at our brand new Instagram account at SBCC Promise. And now let me show you where you can also access myself and or Wendy. So if you go to our website, which you can get to by just typing the URL sbccpromise.org, it will redirect you to the SBCC Foundation website. So once you're here, you can scroll down to the bottom and you'll see myself and Wendy. We both have our own lines, so you can reach me directly during our office hours. And the last four digits are my phone number is 4406. You have our email addresses here as well. Not only that, but we are also accessible through an online appointment. If you click here, it will take you to the meeting appointment scheduler, which we use, and you can see my face, so you can confirm it is with me, and you can click on any of the dates that you are available. For example, if you want to meet with me on Thursday, January 14th, you simply click there. You go through your own schedule to see what fits best. Maybe 1:30 p.m. is the best time. You simply just put in your first name, your last name, and your email address. Preferably, please use your pipeline email address, because once you're there, you're able to connect with us through the Google Meet channels. So we use that for those appointments. Now, if you want to get ahead or you just want to stay in the know of what's going to happen with the SBCC Promise, we have a public Google Calendar, which you can access by clicking here. And once you're there, you can explore when we are closed. You can explore when are the deadlines. For example, an upcoming event is the Promise Club Informational. If you click here, you'll see that we have a deadline for students who are not enrolled. Deadline to be for full-time student is on next Friday. We are closed for a holiday on the 18th. And if you go towards throughout the semester, you'll see that there are all the deadlines for the term are listed already. Now, a good thing about this is that you can go ahead and add this calendar to yours. Really fantastic move right here. You can just simply click down here where it says plus Google Calendar, and then it will prompt a window that will say, would you like to add this to your own calendar? You say yes, preferably your pipeline email account or any of them. That way it's added to your personal email and you can get notifications when something's coming up. Really nifty thing to have. Now I would like to introduce Wendy Aguilera, our SBCC Promise Assistant, so she can talk about what she does and how she can help you.
But for Promise, the way that I help our students is through answering voicemails, emails, and when we were going in person to work, also in person. And I also take care of the invoices that are sent to us over by the bookstore. And so I basically make sure to see if nothing was missed from the bookstore when you all make your purchases for your required textbooks and materials. And yeah, I'm always here to help. The way to contact me is either through my email and to the phone number at work, which is the 805-730-4407. And my email is Aguilera, Aguilera, at sbccfoundation.org.
Thank you, Wendy. And that is the end of our presentation.